folks, 2.8 is coming fast, and by the looks of Promeia, you are too. But what we're here to discuss is the top highlights you'll need to pay attention to, because this ain't your regular last dance of 2.x, folks. It would even be safe to say that this is more of a prelude to the 3.x patch, with how much content is already revolving around the new region of Ruscalifer, its new characters, and even the whole new game element. So let's start off with what y'all are most interested in, which is the characters. Now, I usually make a whole separate video talking about the banner units and my grade for them, and that actually will be coming tomorrow. But let's first generally just introduce to you guys the banner units, and let's start with the already announced limited units of Promeia and Billy. These units are looking to be very solid, and I'm not gonna lie, Promeia might just be the Vivian of 2.8, meaning that she might have a crazy long shelf life going into the new season, with how we're now seeing these wind interactions. Promeia is seeming to have a notable seat at the table, whereas on the other hand, Billy. Now, don't get me wrong, male characters have always had a bad rap about coming before big characters or larger patches, like with 1.7 Yugo and 2.4 Banyuan, who eventually led into Yishen and Yeshinguang respective. I'm here to say this arguably isn't much different. Because of his front end, he's got Promeia, who is a disorder queen, just pounding away with all of her special skills. And then you got like Valena just knocking the wind out of you. You mean like, oh, bang, bang. Like, how are you gonna have like two women, you know, one in the front, like one in the back, you know what I mean? Huh? Hey, what's up, guys? It's nice weather we got going on, huh? About Billy. That's right, Billy actually would have been such an amazing character if he came out 6 months ago. With his strong physical and rupture classification, he actually would be running so much of the miasma-based content, like low Kirk annually. His type chart is amazing. But now that we're coming to a close on this chapter, and soon going to see some new enemies that are going to shift the meta, I'm not too excited and more cautious about investing into the Common Rider. But don't let my sentiment dissuade you from pulling on the men of ZZ. Honestly, we need to make a stand. If not for Billy, then who? Am I right? Now, aside from the limited agents, we're also getting the rerun units in the form of Orphe and Lucia, both of whom have strong merits in their roles as supports. Orphe has been such a sweet pairing with all of the Opal Squad members, and Lucia being a premier Rupture support, these two have strong candidacies for their respective niches, that if you are looking to round out your cast of characters going into 3.x, I wouldn't blame you for pulling at least a copy of them, since they arguably can function without signatures. So they are ranked pretty high up for their value polls for me. And in regards to Lucia, since she's been our only premium Rupture support, I've been on record saying that we'll be needing a new batch of reworks soon, echoed by the 3.0 dev talk that just happened earlier on this week. Caesar King, amongst others like Juya, Chingy, and Jane, are very much on the block for next round, and if Caesar King could just gain the ability to buff sheer force as well as attack for the respective on-field character, I would actually feel so much better for Caesar, as we then have a secondary option in the Rupture business. Let's make it happen, Hoyo. And who could forget Miyabi with her new skin? Ooh la la. I'm not gonna lie, that splash art does wonders for me. But thanks to this, it's confirmed that there is no anti-shill in Ruscalifer, baby. How could you anti-shill a character with a skin? Oh, it's impossible. But on the realest of notes, it's about time, and glad that they even executed on it right before we head into more newer content down the line. Well, I'm no leading expert in Zenless Zone Zero lore, but one thing you guys are going to want to pay attention to is the upcoming ZZ story and its lore as a prelude to some of the new 3.x content you're going to see. If you aren't already sat after the goth Angel E-Girl started to waltz onto the screen, the plot is already setting up a bunch of players that are going to bridge us into the new region of Ruscalifer, with the Marcel group, the Mercenary group, and other pursuing factions that could be showing up. Like here with the bakery that we saw in the 3.x dev talk, we could see a faction of chefs or cooks. We could see a faction of doctors and nurses, which for folks who are really deep into the lore know about the heal faction being mentioned throughout the internet. Then there's other plausible factions like a Royal Guard faction, as the region of Rascalfer is UK based. We could easily see a Royal Guard faction that would actually be so epic. Again, outside of speculation, we did see a little bit more of info into 3.x, but I'll leave that to future Josh to discuss. And now the last thing I wanted to cover with the special program recap outside of characters and stories is events. But you might be asking, Josh, what events? They don't even seem like much to me. Well, that's just it, folks. With these small and concise events, you guys will be able to rack in those easy Polychromes, baby, and they are gonna carry you into your bank, hopefully for you to spend in 3.x. The amount of pulls projected with 2.8 is around 100 to 130, which I know is quite the range, but still within our expected 100 plus pulls that we've come to know about Zenless Zone 0, which means that we have room to grab at least one of the on-banner units, say promeia, and then hodl our last 5 to 6 weeks going into the new season with a trove of polys ready to pick up the new wind units and set up our accounts for a new look and new age of Zenlessing. But there are obviously some other smaller qualities of life and other tidbits of news going into 3.x. Let me know down in the comments what you are looking forward to the most in 2.8 and what excites you most about 3.0. With that, we'll be doing a ton more coverage of Zenless moving into next month, and I can't have you missing all those updates. Tomorrow, I'll be releasing my full extensive banner guide to all of the on-banner units for the patch, so you can be informed about your next pulls. Don't forget to hit the like and, if you're on mobile, hype this video up. My name is Josh, and hey, click on this next video for now. YouTube, thanks for like it. We'll see you there, folks.